So Jacob and all his sons have I loved. Read, and all his people have I loved.
But Esau
and his race and his people, come on,
have I hated.
Who was Esau? Was Esau an individual?
Was Jacob an individual?
Yes.
But what came from him?
His nation.
Which
the
was called
Israelites.
right. So it's the same thing with here.
I'm sorry. Jacob may have been the forefather, but he is not the nation.
Yes, he is. Let's get that.
The Lord said unto her.
Now let's see what God told her what was happening in her womb. Go ahead.
2 nations.
What?
2 nations.
Read that again.
And the Lord said unto her.
2
nations.
2 nations. Come on.
Are in thy womb.
2 nations are in thy womb. Go ahead. People, what do they call blacks?
African American.
Right. Do we make up those people?
Yes.
So just because my name is different than yours, does that make me from another race?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, that's the point.
But that's the point. I'm not trying to take away the fact that these are 2 separate nations. 2 separate nations came from the loins of these men. I agree with you. The issue that you're missing is that your own dictionary.
Right.
I didn't bring this out. I didn't Google it. I didn't, this is your book.
Can we say
it broke down for you what Edom is.
Right. Do you
and
believe
Esau and equation is not all. It's not the same. It's a comparison. It's a comparison.
No.
Why though? Why though?
Can I ask you something?
Why though? Because this nation of people came from the loins of Esau.
So they're the nation.
So nobody comes before God.
No.
But through the Lord. Am I correct?
Yes. I don't want to get too far off topic what we're dealing with.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to take you off topic.
No. I want to deal with this first.
I'm going to do that.
I'm going to deal with this first. I don't want to go off topic.
Okay. Then you deal.
Because I want to finish the point.
Yeah.
Because if I never finish the point, then we'll go to...
You only want to see...
No, that's not the case. I want to finish... Let me explain.
Okay, can we have a dialogue?
We can. But what happens is everybody is going to have another point. And if I can't finish this point, we'll never be able to address everybody else's point.
What she is trying to tell you is that at the same time you're pointing out that you have one point of view, she has another.
Okay.
And at the same time, you all are talking the same vision, but just using different words.
I disagree, but go ahead.
Okay, same way I'm trying to tell you. You see your vision of coming to
the Bible vision. Yeah.
Show me.
Okay. So now let's finish this up. Let's go to Romans 9.
Yeah.
I want to finish that.
Romans chapter 9 verse 13. As it is written.
Right.
Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Come on.
What shall we say then?
Okay, so God says he hates a nation of people, right? No. So now he says, what shall we say then, right? Go ahead.
Is there unrighteousness with God?
Or is there unrighteousness with God? Because the point you had made earlier was that God created everything, right? And he's telling you right now that he created these people. But is he unrighteous because he said he hates them?
God forbid.
No.
I'm sorry, he didn't
Go
say
ahead.
he hates them.
For he said,
it just said it.
No, it didn't.
Read 13 again.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Esau.
Go ahead.
Esau.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Right? No.
God
so
forbid.
get the other dictionary. You may have to look it up.
God sent
it says Esau
Jesus
is the
down
only
here
nation of people
to forgive
that
us
didn't
for
have
our
a
sins.
promise of God. So you know what I'm, but keep going. Go
Why?
ahead.
Because Esau gave up his.
So
It said nation, but go ahead.
For he saith to Moses,
Uh-huh.
I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy,
right?
That's all
and,
was
and I will have
washed away.
compassion on
That was
whom I
This
will
the
have
New
compassion.
Testament. Go ahead.
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Go ahead.
So then, is it not of, so then it is not of him that willeth,
Right. It ain't us that willeth. Go ahead.
nor of him that runneth,
Uh-huh.
but of God that showeth mercy.
Now keep going.
For the scripture had said unto Pharaoh,
Uh-huh. Give me the potter. The powder power over the clay. Jump down. It's like verse 21.
verse 21,
Uh-huh.
hath not
No, start at verse 20 actually.
verse 20, nay,
Uh-huh.
O man,
Right.
who art thou that repliest against God?
Who do we to reply against God how he made the way he wanted to make creation? Go ahead.
Shall the thing formed
Uh-huh.
say to him that formed it,
Right?
why hast thou made me thus?
Can we go to God and be like, why'd you make me this way? Or why'd you make them that way? We can't do that, right? Go ahead.
Hath not the potter power over the clay?
Does not God have power to make his own creation? Go ahead.
Of the same lump
Uh-huh.
to make one vessel unto honor,
Because of that same lump, he made one vessel unto honor. Go ahead.
and another unto dishonor.
Another unto dishonor. Go ahead.
What if God, willing to show his wrath,
Right?
and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering,
Right.
the vessels of wrath,
What did he call them?
the vessels of wrath,
They are the vessels of wrath. What?
fitted to destruction.
They are fitted just to destroy. That's the whole purpose that God made them, so he could raise them up and then destroy them, just like he did Egypt. He's making the same comparison of what he did to Pharaoh. Because when the Israelites were in captivity in Egypt, who was the superpower at that
That's
time?
not what he intended.
Egypt, right?
That's not.
Egypt was the superpower. And what did he do to
That's not
Egypt?
what he intended.
He brought them down. What do you mean?
That's
That's
not
what
what
we
he
read in it.
That's not
What-
what he intended.
No,
So
you're,
you said that's not what he intended,
you're
but we
adding
read
to
it.
the
How did I
scripture,
add?
But
You're
I'm hearing what you're
misinterpreting.
saying.
How did I add? What did I add into there? All I did was say
With
the
every
same
break
thing.
that he did, with every break that he had, you interpreted your thoughts
No.
of that
No.
scripture.
Give
That's
me
exactly
First
what
Peter.
just happened.
First,
show you
Let's do it
something.
again.
Second Peter,
Let's see if
chapter
he gets your whole scripture.
Second Peter, chapter 1 and
Let-
verse 20.
let me
Go
go
ahead.
to-
And
Oh,
the
hold
thing
on, hold on.
is, no matter, see, one thing is that individuals have to be able to discern what the Bible means.
Right, and we about to show it to you. Psalms
Can you show it to
111.
me?
Yeah, we about to show it to you. So read that in Peter and then give me
I
Psalms.
like to see it.
Second Peter, chapter 1, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Knowing this first,
Y'all can come
that
here.
no prophecy of the scripture
Right.
is of any private interpretation.
So there's no prophecy of the scriptures unto private interpretation. It's just that the people that put us in slavery,
So you don't.
so
you don't
they
know what
taught
real-
you Christianity. They didn't teach you, thus saith the Lord. They taught you Christianity. Israelite, according to the Bible.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's
Psalms
your
chapter
religion.
1.
No, that's not my religion. That's my
We're
heritage.
not talking about
Okay.
affiliation.
That's my heritage.
So what's the affiliation?
There's no religion.
Oh, okay. Very
There's
good.
no religion at
It's a
all.
way of life, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Because laws, when you take this Bible is a book of laws. It was given to the Israelites to govern themselves as a people. What we had was our oppressors turn it into a religion for their gain. But it was never.
I agree with that.
So it was never a religion. It was a way of laws and for us to conduct ourselves as a people. That's all it ever was. But read that. Psalms 111 and 10.
Psalms chapter 111 and verse 10.
Uh-huh.
The fear of the Lord
Uh-huh.
is the beginning of wisdom.
So it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Go ahead.
A good understanding.
So now he's getting ready to tell you how you get a good understanding of the Bible. Go ahead.
A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
That do what?
That do his
He
commandments.
said, all they that have a good understanding do his commandments. So
Right.
the only way you can get a good understanding of this Bible if you do what?
You follow the scriptures. You follow it.
Well, what did it say? Do his what?
Commandments.
Right. So the Sabbath day, right? Do we still have to keep that?
I would imagine so.
Right. So now let's get the laws on the
But
Sabbath.
now let's talk about, see, you're getting off track. You just said that this man was getting off track. Now we done went from Jesus being the Savior
Okay,
for
let's
all
go back.
mankind.
Yeah,
now we're
John
talking about
3:16.
keeping the Sabbath day.
Right.
Like,
John 3:16.
hey, look,
Let's get it.
John
I'm here
chapter
for
3,
this
verse
conversation.
16.
Okay, John 3:16. Let's get it.
For God.
Hold on. Remember, we was asked. So how many of y'all heard John 3:16?
probably everybody.
Everybody.
You quote it? You know it.
What
I know. But I want to make a point. But read that.
So I was
John.
Read 15 anyway.
Was I right?
John
That's what
chapter
15
3,
said?
verse 14.
14.
Just make it.
14. And as Moses.
No, let's start at verse 1 because everybody else wasn't there when we brought this up. So we want to get the context of what this Christ was talking about, right? So he said, for God so loved the world. Everybody quotes John 3:16, right? So now read John 3 verse 1.
John 3, verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees,
Right.
named Nicodemus,
Right.
a ruler of the Jews.
A ruler of the who?
A ruler of the Jews.
So Christ is talking to Nicodemus, a Pharisee, a ruler of the Jews. Is he talking to all people?
He was talking to Nicodemus.
Right.
The ruler of the Jews.
Right. So
Right.
was he talking to everybody?
He was talking specifically to one individual.
Right. Okay. So now.
One individual man.
But why did they call him a
And they
Jew?
gave him a name.
Why
They
did they call
actually
him a
named
Jew, though?
him. They told you what his name was.
But why did they call him a Jew?
It just said he was the leader of the Jews.
But why did, because a Pharisee, when you read the Bible, who are the Pharisees?
Those are the men who ran the temple.
And what lineage did they come from?
Israel.
Exactly. So just because his name was Nicodemus, does that mean that he wasn't an Israelite?
I never said that.
But that goes
Like,
back to the
scripture
point.
specifically
No,
tells you
sis,
that
listen to
this
me.
was a leader of the Jews.
Right.
I'm confused.
But
What
this
are we
is-
translating now?
Because this
What
is
are we-
going
what
back
are
to
we
my
trying
point.
to
When you
interpret
said
for?
individuals. You
He's
were
an
trying
individual.
to. But is he from
He
the
just-
nation of Israel?
Yes.
Okay, that goes back to the
But
point.
he's from the
Can I
nation
finish?
of
Can I
Israel.
finish?
He's an
Can I
individual.
finish? Let me finish. So that goes back to the point when we were talking about earlier. Just because we may have a different name doesn't mean we don't come from the same line of people.
Or from
That's
the same
what
nation. We agreed on
Right. So Esau and Edom are from the same line of people.
That's
It's
right.
the same people.
Edom
Be-
came from Esau.
No, Edom and Esau are the
Now we
exact
have a
same
different
person.
understanding.
Did you get that definition for me? Read it for me. Read that.
But is it?
Hold on, let's get it.
So because
Esau,
we're,
yes.
because we're Israelites.
Hold on.
Esau in the Zondervan Bible Combat Dictionary.
Uh-huh.
Harry, firstborn of twin brothers.
Right.
Esau and Jacob,
Right?
sons of Isaac and Rebekah,
Right?
sold his birthright for a mess of pottage
Uh-huh.
to his brother.
Right?
Sought to kill Jacob for tricking him out of Isaac's blessing. Later reconciled to Jacob. Scripture sometimes uses Esau as the name of the land of Edom.
Huh?
Scripture sometimes uses Esau as the name of the land of Edom,
Come on.
in which his descendants lived.
Right, in which his what?
Descendants lived.
In which
Where
his
his
descendants
what
live.
live?
Come
In
on.
which his descendants lived.
Because they are the same. Read it. Read that sentence
So your
again.
descendants are
Scripture
not
sometimes
Listen.
uses Esau
No, not.
as the name of the land of Edom,
Right.
in
name
which
of the
his
land of
descendants
Edom.
lived.
Okay.
In which his
Keep making my
descendants
point.
live. So now, was that name Israel before the Israelites came in? Yes or no? Was the land Israel?
They came from Jacob.
No. The land named Israel right now. Was it named Israel before the Israelites got there?
No, I believe
No,
it was something else.
It was something else, right?
Yeah.
But then they took over that land and they called it Israel, correct? The same way Esau took over that land and called it Edom.
And it talks
And
about
that's his
this. Wait.
descendants.
Let's get into this. Okay? Let's get into it and break it down. This is your book. I want to continue to reiterate that. I haven't read one scripture from my translation of anything. Your book just told you and I that Edom was a land that the descendants of Esau lived. That is not the same. Just because we are of the same race, we are not the same person. You're an individual. I'm an individual.
So can you live above your people's status? No, you cannot. Can you live above the black people's status in America?
No.
No. So you're
Why
the
would I
people.
try?
Okay.
I think you're missing.
Am I the only one not getting this right now? Because you are an individual, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so now, but wait, hold on. But if you go outside right now and the police have an altercation with you, are they going to see the individual Keziah who's made herself as a successful black person, or are they just going to see you as a regular old Negro?
I'm sure that they would probably just see me as another black woman.
Right, because you can't rise above the status of your people. You are the same. No matter how much you try to individualize yourself, you are still the status of your people because you come from the same
You do not become
lineage.
one.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.